let's talk about the world of cat influencers. On the surface, it looks like an absolute dream job, right? I mean, cute photos, viral videos. But underneath all of that, there are some really serious ethical and legal tripwires that can literally end a career in a heartbeat. So let's get right into it. And when I say the stakes are high, I am not kidding. Take a look at this number. That's the estimated brand value of a top-tier cat influencer. We're talking about sophisticated media businesses here. And while the money is obviously huge, so are the risks. Which brings us to the single most important rule of this entire game. Just forget the money for a second, forget the fame. This right here, this is it. This is the absolute core principle that cannot be bent or broken. Before you even think about hitting record, you have a fundamental duty as a guardian. Every single post, every single decision you make has to be built on this foundation. Because the moment you forget this, trust me, everything else just crumbles. Okay, so let's start with the big one, the absolute non-negotiable. This is where so many creators get it wrong. They start chasing trends, they want that viral hit, but they don't stop to think about the consequences. And let's be clear, the desire to go viral can never, ever come at the expense of your cat's well-being. This is a question that every single creator needs to ask themselves, seriously. You see these videos all the time, right? A cat seems to be making some kind of funny face, or it's reacting in a way that seems hilarious. But what are we actually looking at? Is that genuine fun, or are we completely misreading the signs of serious psychological distress just for our own entertainment? So let me be really clear about this. Those trends, like the whole cucumber challenge or putting scary masks on, they are not harmless pranks. They cause real psychological trauma to these animals. And these right here are the telltale signs of a cat in distress. You've got crouching low to the ground, flattened ears, hiding, hissing, and this last one is so important. Stress, panting. That is not a smile. It's a clear signal that your cat is a victim in that moment, not a happy participant. Normalizing this stuff is just cruel. And, this highlights a problem that's maybe a bit more subtle, but it is just as harmful. Over on the left, you've got the chunky cat trend, which basically glorifies animal obesity. This puts cats out 4 times the risk for diabetes, joint pain, a whole host of awful conditions. And then on the right, you have the Scottish fold. Those cute folded ears, they're actually a sign of a genetic disorder that causes a lifetime of incurable, painful arthritis. When we promote these looks, we're creating a demand for unhealthy animals, and we're just perpetuating a whole cycle of suffering for an aesthetic. Okay, let's shift gears. We've talked about ethics. Now let's get into the cold, hard reality of the law. Because ignoring these rules won't just get you canceled on social media. It can get you sued into oblivion and completely destroy your brand partnerships. This is where being a true professional really matters. All right, pop quiz time. You see a sound that's blowing up on TikTok or Instagram, and it's absolutely perfect for that new sponsored video you're making. You can just use it, right? I mean, the platform gives you the music library. It has to be okay. Not just no. It is a massive, multi-million-dollar lawsuit kind of no. This is honestly one of the biggest and most dangerous misunderstandings in the entire creator economy right now, and it is a gigantic liability. And here's why. The music libraries on these apps, they're licensed for personal use. The second your video becomes an ad for a brand, it's considered commercial content. And to legally put music to a branded video, you need what's called a synchronization license, which you have to pay for. If you don't have one, you're committing copyright infringement. And believe me, music companies are actively suing brands for millions over this. You instantly become a huge risk to any company you work with. So let's just make this super simple. This right here is your must-have checklist. For ad disclosures, it's simple. Hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored right at the beginning of the caption. Don't you dare hide it. For music, use royalty-free libraries or get that sync license. For contracts, get absolutely everything in writing. No more deals in the DMs. And for product claims, be honest and never ever give medical advice. Seriously, take a screenshot of this. It could save your entire career. Now, what happens when people ignore all this? Let's look at what that actually looks like. And these aren't just theories. These are real-world examples of creators who hit a crisis and then made things catastrophically worse by how they responded. So this is the case of an Australian influencer named Emma Claire. She admitted on her podcast that she had killed 2 cats when she was a kid. And the public outrage was, as you can imagine, immediate and intense. And this was her initial response. It wasn't just about apology.
It was a defiant, dismissive, sorry not sorry that basically just poured gasoline all over the fire. And here is the immediate result. Her major brand partner, M.Co Beauty, dropped her. Instantly, they didn't wait around, they didn't try to see how it would play out, they publicly cut ties, making it crystal clear that they do not condone animal cruelty. This just goes to show how toxic a creator can become to brands the second they fail to show basic remorse for harming an animal. The career damage was instantaneous. But look, it's not just a bad apology that can sink your career. Sometimes silence is just as destructive. In the case of King Duncan, the creator raised over $14,000 from their community for the cat's vet care. But as soon as the money was in, the updates just stopped. Complete radio silence. The community's trust didn't just fade, it absolutely shattered, which led to a massive backlash with accusations of both neglect and fraud. And this right here is the absolute key takeaway from all these cases. When you're a pet influencer, your audience's main connection isn't to you, it's to the animal. So a crisis isn't just some PR problem you can manage. It becomes a public referendum on your moral fitness to even care for that animal. That's why the backlash gets so intense. It feels like a betrayal of a really sacred trust, and audiences just do not forgive that. So, okay, after hearing all of these don'ts, how do we actually build a positive way forward? Well, it's all about reframing these rules. They aren't limitations. They're a proactive pledge to be a better creator, a better guardian, and a better professional. It really all boils down to these three core commitments. First, a pledge to the animal. Their well-being will always, always come first. Second, a pledge to your audience. You're going to build a community on trust and be a source of joy, not misinformation. And third, a pledge to the profession itself. You will operate with total legal and ethical integrity. These three pillars, they're the foundation of a long, successful, and respected career.
And in the end, I think it all comes down to this one question. It's really easy to chase profits and clicks, but the creators who truly last, the ones who build something meaningful, are those who build their brand with purpose. They see themselves as guardians of these amazing animals who, let's be honest, are the real heart of the content. And that, right there, that makes all the difference.